as part of my election tour, I've come back to this clothing factory in Derbyshire to find out how the economy's changed over the last 5 years and whether we're any closer to paying off our
business
debt.
in rural Derbyshire. It's one she's visited before, and she's trying to get a handle on just what impact the nation's £1.4 trillion debt means for working families. Steph, morning.
Morning.
Good morning to you. Morning, everyone, from the David Nieper factory in Alfreton in Derbyshire. It's certainly busy here this morning, but you might recognise it because, as Louise said, I've been here before, back in 2012 when we were just coming out of a recession. So I wanted to come back here to see how people feel now and see what's changed over the last few years. As part of my election tour, I've come back to this clothing factory in Derbyshire to find out how the economy's changed over the last 5 years and whether we're any closer to bringing down the debt. Good morning to you. Morning, everyone. Yes, I'm at the David Nieper factory in Alfreton in Derbyshire. It's certainly busy here this morning. They make hundreds of items and clothing every single day here. Now, you might recognise it because I was here back in 2012, just after the recession. So I wanted to come back to find out how the staff feel here about how things have changed in the economy over the last few years. So those borrowing figures will be out at 9:30 this morning. Until then, I'm going to be talking to an economist about what to expect from them and also to the staff here, and I've been told I've got to help out as well with the ironing. Oh my goodness. You're going to help me though, Sandra, aren't you? Absolutely. Thank you. More from us a bit later on. Come on, you can do this with me.
Steph, we've got a pile of it waiting here for you as well, because we've just seen how good you are at it. So, Steph's new morning job.
She is really good. I'm done with you at home last night, Steph.
On her latest stop on her election tour, Steph has gone to a clothing factory in Alfreton in Derbyshire to find out how they feel that big decisions on public finances are affecting them. Steph, good morning. What a gorgeous print that is.
I know, it's beautiful, isn't it? Good morning. I'm at the David Nieper clothing factory here in Derbyshire this morning. Now, you might recognise this place because I was here back in 2012 when I was talking about what was happening coming out of the recession. So I wanted to come back here to talk to staff about how they feel now, about how things have changed over the last few years. Today, I'm on the edge of the Peak District in a town called Alfreton in Derbyshire. Historically, the money made in this area was from coal mining, but of course, like many places, they've had to adapt with changing industry, and it hasn't always been easy. I've come here to look at the issue today of national debt and how it hits families and businesses here. And this is a company, as I say, I visited just after we came out of recession, and talking to the staff then, they were concerned about what the future might hold for them because things were still very uncertain. Well, I'm back here again ahead of the election, of course, with the Stephometer, which has been travelling around with me all over the country. I've got some of the staff here this morning. We've got Sheila, Pete and Sharon. Pete, I'm going to start with you. Now, when we met a couple of years ago, it was fuel that was kind of worrying you, and we've seen the price of that fall a bit. So what do you make of things now?
Yeah, I don't particularly think it's anything the government has done to make it fall. I think it's the price of crude oil barrels that's dropped, but it's still good for us, and it's brought the prices down. Supermarket prices are down, but that may be more to do with the power battle between the supermarkets. But it's good. It's very good. So
life feels a bit better for you. So where would you put your pound on the Stephometer?
Slightly above halfway.
Yeah, so a bit better than it was. And Sheila, what about you? Has life changed much for you?
Oh, definitely, yes, definitely.
What have you noticed change?
Supermarkets, as Pete says, that's a lot better. My stepson has got a job, so that's made us a lot better off, so yes.
Was it hard for him to find a job? Because that's been one of the tough things, hasn't it?
Yes, it was very hard, very difficult, but luckily he got set on, so that's made life a lot easier. Excellent. A lot easier for us.
And the last time we met as well, I know you've lost 9 stone. You were showing me a picture earlier, and that's amazing as well, so well done for that.
Thank you very much.
So your life's changed a lot. Where would you put your pound sign on the Stephometer? So yeah, quite optimistic again. And what about for you, Sharon? Because you didn't work here when I was last here, but so you came back, you were at the company, but you've come back again. Tell us what life's been like over the last few years.
It has been hard, but it has got slightly better. I mean, when I come back here, I come into a trade that I'd trained at when I was at school. So because I got the skill, I didn't find it difficult to get a job here.
Yeah.
The actual cost of living, I think, is slightly higher. You do find it hard not to have a lot of spare money. You know, you really have to save to go on holiday and have treats really.
So where would you put the pound sign on the Stephometer then? Maybe a bit below there, so if you think that.
Middle-ish, yeah.
There we go then. So a bit better than it was for some of you. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that. I'll let you get back to work. There's loads to do here. I'll tell you, they're giving me jobs as well.
Steph is out on the road again for her election tour.
She's in Derbyshire. She's finding out how people think the economy is doing. She's been busying herself as well. Steph,
Changing outfits.
This is not the real Steph. Steph, where are you?
Good morning to you. They're a bit creepy, aren't they, these mannequins? I'll tell you what, but I'm here at David Nieper clothing factory in Alfreton in Derbyshire. Now, you might recognise this place because I have been here before, back in 2012 when we were just coming out of the recession. So I've decided to come back as part of my election tour to find out how things have changed here. This is a company which I visited just after we came out of recession, and chatting to the staff back then, they were telling me they were concerned about what the future holds. So I've got a couple of them with me now. First of all, Lisa, morning to you, Lisa. I know you're dead busy, but thanks for having a chat with me. So have you noticed life change much over the last kind of 3 to 5 years?
Yes, with fuel going up and everything, but we're lucky that mortgage rates are low at the minute.
Yeah, so that's made a difference here with the mortgage being low. And you've got kids and things, haven't you?
Yes.
So have you noticed much pressure there with costs for them?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very expensive, always wanting things.
So would you say life is easier in terms of the economy now compared to what it was 5 years ago, or is it more difficult?
A bit easier.
A bit easier. Yeah, and Sheila, I know we met last time I came here, and we were talking about the kind of pressures back then, but what's it been like for you over the last few years?
It's been a lot better, a lot better. My stepson Kylie's got a job, which has made a hell of a difference to us.
Was it tricky for him to get a job, because we are in a rural area, aren't we, so that must make a difference to getting jobs?
Yes, yeah. He has to travel a little bit, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. You know, it's everybody has to travel, but it's been a lot better for both for him and us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what about for you? What's made it better for you?
We've got more money.
Have you?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. A lot more money.
Why do you think that is?
Because the economy's got a lot better. Supermarkets have got a lot better. We're finding as money goes a little bit further, you know, than it did 2 years ago, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for chatting to me. I'll let you get back on So as well. a lot of work to be done by whoever ends up winning the election on the 7th of May. Also a lot of work to be done here. I've been gathering. I've been given a whole load of ironing to do. I found, though, amongst it, Bill's ironing here. What do you make of this? This little number? A Bill Turnbull special?
So naughty.
So, Steph, are you bringing us back loads
Naughty
of
but
goodies?
nice, hey?
Are you bringing us back loads of goodies? What else
You
have you
wish,
picked out?
no.
What about for Charlie? Have you picked out a nice little something for Charlie?
Oh, hang on a minute. I've got the perfect thing for Charlie. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, this is him, isn't it?
Oh, you've got him down to a
Can see him in that, lounging at home.
Steph, also, can you tell me how many steps there are there? Because it's really been distracting me all morning.
Yeah, there are quite a few. It's to basically keep the staff motivated,
What?
because if they don't work hard, they will keep them here permanently. Whereas if they work hard, they'll get rid of them all.
I can see why that
Use
might
them as
motivate
cardboard
them.
Pictures.
It might scare them, to be completely honest. Steph, thanks so much. Fabulous.